Let's talk about golf. In this film room, I'll show you how a scratch golfer uses stats to break down an on-course performance to improve faster. Golf is a game of routines, warm-up routines, pre-shot routines, post-shot routines, and what we'll cover today is the post-round routine. With just 5 to 10 minutes after every round, you can identify key areas to focus on in practice or for your next round. And if you're not analyzing your performance after every round, you are literally throwing opportunities right into the trash. In order to streamline this analysis, I track my game using the Tangent Golf app. You don't have to use Tangent, but you want to use an app that gives you more than just fairways and scores. Those stats only tell part of the story and can lead you to focusing on the wrong things. Let's get started. Golf is hard. I feel like I have to constantly remind myself of that, especially coming off a round where maybe I didn't perform quite as well as I'd hoped. We'll rip the Band-Aid right off as we dive into the round report. I shot an 81 from the tips at Fossil Creek. Feel free to beat me up in the comments for shooting an 81 as a scratch golfer, but before you get too harsh, this is a tough golf course. A new feature in the Tangent app is the course difficulty. It shows how this course compares to others I've played. So the difficulty is relative to what I know, not some random course rating that I have no context for. And Fossil Creek, well, it's tough. I'm playing the tips, so the course is longer than most that I've played. It's narrow with small greens, so the course rating is tougher. Not to mention, it's cold, the grass is dormant, and this is winter golf in Texas to add to the degree of difficulty. Let's start this conversation with the coachable moments in the Tangent app. Tangent highlights your 3 worst and 3 best shots in the round report. And if you just improve your 3 worst shots from every round, you'll see your scores improve. And there's no doubt about it in this round we'll talk about today. The first coachable moment happened on 15. After a great drive on a really tough driving hole, I had just 115 yards from the fairway. It's not the easiest shot, the wind's blowing, it's over a creek to a small green, but it's just a wedge in my hand. And the big issue here is I was just uncommitted. I didn't love the lie, I didn't love the look, and I was just a little uncomfortable. I definitely wasn't focused on the shot at hand, and I made an awful swing. If you gave me this shot 100 times, this would probably be the worst pitching wedge that I hit. But that's what an uncommitted golf swing will do. So let's go talk to Coach in the Tangent app. How was the strike? Well, it was thin. I bladed it pretty badly. Pre-shot decisions? They were fine. Did the lie impact the result? Slightly. It was a thin lie and I was overthinking it, but the broader problem was that I didn't trust it. I had my doubts. Tracking these items on my worst shots will help me identify trends between what happens when I make big mistakes. So let's go to the second coachable moment, which is good old number 6, and we might start seeing a trend in holes that drove me crazy. This is a short par 4 that turns right and goes over the creek to an elevated green. It's not a hard tee shot because it's less than driver, but the club got caught up in the grass as I took it back. I wasn't able to reroute it, and I chunked it badly. The ball doesn't go very far, but that's not the coachable moment. The coachable moment on this hole is the second shot, and this is one I feel like we could all learn from. I've already made a mistake off the tee, and I can't really go for the green. I've got trees in my way, it's an elevated green, so I have to lay up. And it's time to practice what I preach. Reframe the hole in your mind. Bogey would be a great result, so let's find a way to make bogey. And to be fair, that was my intention. I have just a 9-iron, and I'm punching it up the fairway. But, and it's a big but, I was trying to get cute here. Instead of just hitting a stock punch, hitting my wedge onto the green, and 2-putting for my bogey, I'm trying to shape this punch. I'm trying to hit a cut punch 9-iron so that it follows the shape of the hole and gives me 90 yards instead of 110 yards. It's just an unnecessary complication. I fell into the trap of trying to do too much when I was already in trouble. I chunk toe this dead to the right, hit a tree, and now I'm in even more trouble. For a smart guy, I can be pretty dumb on the golf course. Was I focused as I could have been? No. Did I make a good pre-shot decision? No, that target was too aggressive. How was the contact? Terrible. That was a toe ball. How was the swing? Not good. I tried to do too much when a simple punch would have been adequate. So now we're in bigger trouble. We're under the trees, we've got a tougher layup, but the goal is the same. Get it back in play. A 6 is still better than a 7, so let's find a way to make 6. And I do get this one in play, but it's still a tough green over a creek, so I have to favor long. That puts me over the green. A careful putt down the hill and a missed 7-footer, and that's how you make triple, folks. It would have been easy to walk off this hole mad about what happened around the green, but the mental mistakes are really what cost me strokes here. Last coachable moment, hole 9. It's a tight par 4 that slants hard left with a creek down the left-hand side. Driver or more brings the lake into play, so it's just an iron off the tee. And the only thing you can't do is hit it left, which is exactly what I do here. I've done this tracking in the coachable moments long enough to know that my tendency with this club is to make a bit of a tentative swing, rocking out and hitting it on the toe. Add to the fact that this maintenance guy was camped down here on the right where I wanted to hit it, and I probably just got scared that I'd hit him. Either way, you can't lay up and hit it in a hazard. That's a double whammy, and now I'm fishing for my golf ball. I hit a decent third onto the green and I managed to salvage bogey, but that was another careless mistake. Those 3 holes alone, I was 6 over on a round where I shot 9 over total. That's the power of coachable moments. If I clean these up, it can have a big impact on my overall score. And now I know that it was mostly commitment to the shot in front of me, and trying to do too much got me into trouble. Those mistakes are also captured in what we call the tangent 4. These are 4 areas that are low-hanging fruit that can contribute to scoring. On those 3 holes, we had a recovery on 6, a penalty on 9, and a penalty on 15. But those weren't the only mistakes on the day. I also had a 2-chip on 7. Golly, I suck out of this mud. Where I fatted one out of a muddy lie, a 3-putt on 11 where I had bad speed control, a penalty on 12 where I chose a really aggressive target, a 3-putt on 14, a tough one, but a poor wedge left me a long ways from the hole, and a recovery shot on 16, where a poor drive put me in the trees. If you eliminate those mistakes, which would not require significantly better ball striking or massive swing changes, just work on fundamentals like being able to chip out of a soft lie or better speed control with the putter, and choosing targets that eliminate penalties, this is not rocket science or PGA Tour level stuff. And if I do those things, that 81 becomes a 73, and I'd feel a lot better about a 73. That's how I use tangent to review my round and learn from every single round. And I'm partial to tangent, well, because I developed it. I carved my way from a 6 handicap all the way down to a +1. And while right now I'm currently struggling with my game and trying to get better, that's where the app is going to help me on my improvement journey. And if you want to get started on your improvement journey, use promo code GOODMISS for 20% off the Tangent app. It's time to get to work. Next time on The Good Miss.